good people?
Hi, this is Growing Up Low Country. I'm Liz.
I'm Danny, and new month, new episode. And this one, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening, we're not alone on this one. So we got another extremely special guest. This man here, fellow classmate, goodness, played football and ran track, state champion in the 100 and 200 meters at Berkeley High School. We affectionately know him as Coont. I like to refer to him as FMOC, fastest man on campus. A recent inductee into the Citadel Athletics Hall of Fame, where he also played football and ran track. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Kenyon Doyle. Kenyon, how you doing this evening?
Doing well. Thank you both. Thank you. This is so nostalgic. I appreciate you and Liz doing this. It takes us back to memories that sometimes are forgotten.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, thank you for the honor to be here with you guys.
Yeah,
This is great.
appreciate it. So let's take it back to the very beginning. Perry Hill. What was the Perry Hill life like for young Kenyon?
So I guess it would have to start on Wall Street.
Okay.
Wall Street is where I was raised for the first 4 or 5 years of my life. That's where my grandma had a house, and my great-grandma lived with them for a little bit. And just having the opportunity just to pick up knowledge. I was raised by older people and just soaking in that wisdom from my grandparents, my great-grandmother. And then in Perry Hill, playing tackle man with the football. Just growing up with cousins and family and friends, it just made me into the man I am today.
So at what point did you realize that you were faster than everybody else?
Well, that took some time because first of all, my mom, she was fast, and there was rumors in Moncks Corner that she used to outrace guys on the bicycle.
Wow.
So, I think some of it is genetics.
Okay.
And she used to beat me in running up until middle school. Mm-hmm. Then my cousin Chrissy Singleton, she had a growth spurt. So she was taller than most of, our cousins, and she was another one that used to beat me in running. And then my childhood friend, Quanah Smith. Quanah, we caught the bus together in Perry Hill. Our grandmothers were neighbors.
Okay.
So she was another one that was fast. And last but not least, our classmate, Lashaya Simmons. Lashaya had turnover.
Let me tell you.
Man, she could run.
Let me tell you. I raised her in elementary school, and she smoked me. The fact that she could, like you said, she had that fast twitch fibers, and she was so low to the ground, I had no chance. I mean, it was like right after first period. I want to say it was either third or fourth grade, and we had a long concrete walkway with the awning. And she was like, "Let's race." I was like, "All right, let's do it." Why did I take up that offer? Oh my God, she left me in the dust. So I was like, you know what? I'm not running anymore. I skipped field. She literally made me skip field day because I was like, yeah, I can't come back from this. But she dusted me. But yeah, that's funny that you mentioned Lashaya being one of the fastest people in the neighborhood. And I can attest to that. That is 100% true.
Well, I can remember back in high school, so I was playing tennis, and the way the setup was, you could see the track from the tennis courts. And I can remember, like, ninth grade, I think those track coaches were just like, I don't know what else to do. So they tied a parachute to you because he was so fast, tied a parachute to him.
Really?
And he was still lapping people. And I remember thinking, if a gust of wind comes, Kenyon's gone. Like, we'll never find him.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing, it was like they had put, the race cars that have the parachutes that make them stop, but he didn't stop. Just kept going.
And I remember that we were in gym class together in ninth grade, and we would have to, like some days when we weren't lifting, we had to hit the track and basically just run. And I wasn't accustomed to running. Like I'll do 300 meters and like my side, right, my abdomen area is throbbing, and you lap everybody like 5 or 6 times. I'm like, this man is a robot. Like this is insane. But just talking about that and then parlaying that into a stellar track career at Berkeley High School. So what was it that got you in the track?
It was the legendary Dr. Brown, Coach Brown. He encouraged football players to take up track. And I had some phenomenal track coaches from Coach Gooden, Coach Bill Berry, who was a Citadel grad, Coach Wilkerson, Coach Britt.
Wow, Coach Brett. I
Coach
forgot about
Britt.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was our coach our senior year. Then Coach Robert Smith. He has daughters, Sabria Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But he took a liking to me, and he really poured into me and taught me the fundamentals of track. And just it changed my life. I remember freshman year making it to the finals of the 100 in the regionals. Came in maybe dead last or second to last, but running with Rusty Williams, Bubba Copeland. There's a guy from Somerville named Billy Totten.
Oh my God, Billy Totten, legend.
And there was a guy from Stratford. He played running back.
Courtney Minor.
How do y'all remember that name?
And then I can't forget Tori Ellington from Cordsville. Tori was a beast coming out the blocks.
Yeah.
So, just that boosted my confidence. And then sophomore year, had a chance to run at state in the 4x4 with, it was, I think, Robert Henry ran first leg. Mal Lawyer ran second. I was third, and Sam Limehouse was fourth.
Wow.
And became in second in the state.
No kidding.
Instead of school run.
Yeah.
So just, just people along the way, just building, networking and learning from my teammates, and we pushing each other to be better. It's just I'm fortunate.
Yeah.
I'm blessed.
Yeah. So talk about what it was like. Like, share with us what it was like winning the state championships your senior year.
It was good because I had the opportunity to run with my cousins. Joey Jenkins and I, we're cousins long distance. Then my first cousin, Romiko Simmons and Markeith Singleton and MJ, we kind of, we grew up together. We grew up like brothers. So it was just good to be able to celebrate that achievement with them.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We on a couple weeks ago.
That was a good time. So then, what was it like playing for Coach Brown on the football field?
Oh man, it was. So I think just coming up. First of all, we came up through Little League football. So we had legendary coaches like Coach Dave Copeland,
Legend,
Coach Spencer Scott, who was just another Citadel grad. And they really prepared us to when we got to high school, we could fit in the system with Coach Brown. And Coach Brown brought a new philosophy to Berkeley with the B team.
Yeah.
That was his idea. And they really prepared us to when we became, junior varsity athletes or varsity athletes, like we were just ready to compete, with the rest of the state. So Coach Brown brought a different philosophy. I think if my memory serves me correctly, it was more about making sure that you had strength and stamina in the fourth quarter and that you were able to sustain your endurance, when it really counts. And he also brought the philosophy of introducing faith. He was really big into faith. And we used to have meetings where we talk about our faith, and that really made us, it was bigger than just sports.
Yeah.
It made us into strong future men. And I'm so appreciative of that opportunity just to learn from him and share that experience with my teammates.
Right on. So you won the state championship in track, and then you go on to win a state championship with your guys in your 11th grade year. So, man, shout out Darlington in the state championship. I remember that clear as day. So what was that feeling like? Being able to reach it to the mountaintop in both sports.
Just honored. My junior year really didn't play a lot, but I had a chance to learn a lot from the seniors on the team because RIP to Ish Hall, phenomenal leader, Antonio Simmons, so many great leaders in that team. And, we had a chance. We had a chance our senior year. We were like, 1 minute, 18 seconds away from going to state.
Yep, 4th and 3. Runs a QB keeper to Chris Razor. I'm not keeping score at all. And I was sitting in the stands like, why not just pitch it to Kenyon? He can get 6 or 7 yards. We run the clock out. We go to Columbia and play for the state title. But they had other plans.
Yeah, so just again, just growing up in Moncks Corner, playing for Berkeley, like we wear that stag on our chest with pride. And, we can pick on each other in the locker room, but when we step outside on the track, football field, on the tennis court, like we're family.
Yeah.
We're one.
I always tell people it's so, it doesn't matter if you really hung out in high school or not, but if you see a fellow stag, you root for that person. You really genuinely want to see them do well. And I didn't realize till I was a lot older, not every community has that, and I'm super thankful that we ended up in that situation. And I wish I could, copy that and give that playbook to every community, because I don't know why it worked out that way, but it sure enough did.
It did. So then you took your football and your track talents to the collegiate level. So, and I remember you sharing with me whenever we met up after your induction ceremony that the Citadel, actually where you play college ball, was actually not your first choice. So so talk about that, because I don't think a lot of people know that the Citadel wasn't at the top of your list.
It wasn't. Actually, the first school that recruited me, I remember being in Coach Meyer's class for driver's ed, and I got called out of his class to go to Coach Brown's office. And there was a recruiter and a coach from a school up north called West Point. I was 18 years old. I didn't know really what West Point meant. I didn't know it was the Army, but the coach talked about the benefits of West Point, and there were some things he said that I was interested in. I didn't have any problem with a commitment, going into the Army. But when he said playing football in New York, that was that didn't
Too
sound
cold.
like exactly. That didn't sound right to me. So I turned down the opportunity. It was a lesson learned for me. But God opened up other doors with the Citadel. For football, had a chance to go there for a recruiting visit, and Coach Maurice Strayton was my host. Had a chance to go to ETSU, East Tennessee State University in Johnson City, Tennessee, and Denario Smalls and Eric Cooper, my host there, and they showed me a good time, and had a chance to go to University of Kentucky for track, where the coach was Coach Eldrick Florial, who was a former Olympian, represented Canada.
Okay.
And his wife, I think she won a silver medal in 92 Olympics in the 100-meter hurdle. And just even my host, Dwight Phillips, he was a guy from Atlanta, but he won a few gold medals in the Olympics as well. But long story short, Kentucky was where my heart was at. I was focused on the now, but my parents told me to look out, for 5-10 years down the road. And I'm grateful that I listened to my parents, because the Citadel really just molded me into the man I am today. And I'm just grateful that I listened to their advice.
How was that freshman year, though?
Oh my gosh. It was a challenge. It was different.
And all your friends are off doing what they want to do with freedom, and then you're like, what have I done? This is how I would have, what have I done?
I think in the moment, yes. Freshman year was rough, but the bond that I established with my brothers and sisters at the time, we have that to this day, and I wouldn't change anything.
So what was your favorite course?
Favorite course in high school?
Favorite course at the Citadel?
The Citadel? Favorite course at the Citadel? Probably tough one, Danny. I'm going to tell you my least favorite was swimming.
Okay.
Swimming?
It's swimming, because at the Citadel, you have to pass a swimming test in order to graduate. First time I took swimming, I flunked. I'm not a swimmer. Even though we grew up on the coast here, in the low country, it's not my forte.
You couldn't hold your breath and run across the bottom of the pool and then get to the other side?
So I think you have to tread water for a minute, then swim one length of the pool. And no, I couldn't have done that. No. My favorite course, probably, it was, I don't know what it was called, but Miss Karen Schuler taught the course. And it was more of a collaboration class. I remember us going out 30 minutes off the coast of Charleston, and we stayed on like a secluded island, our classmates. And it was a bonding moment where we learned about each other. We made tents, and it was different. It was different. It's probably one of my most memorable classes from the Citadel, and, just building bonds and just learning about each other.
I like that. So, and after the Citadel, you were actually, before, let me backtrack. Who were some of your favorite teams to play on the football field?
So I remember, so we played, I think, Clemson. Clemson's one of my teams. And we played them, I think, either my sophomore or junior year. And I remember going against this guy. He was a an NFL prospect. His name was Keith Adams.
Termite, number 43. I remember him. Tackling machine.
Exactly. Tackling machine. I remember blocking him. And, we had some words because, I was small. I was like 165, 170. And he was like over 200 pounds. So, like, you're not going to knock me down. And even if you do, I'm going to come back up and I'm going to hit you hard next time. Yeah. That's the way we grew up in Moncks Corner.
So, after you finished at the Citadel and then you enlisted in the Air Force. Oh, that's like a whole nother world outside of athletics. So what was that adjustment like for you?
I think the Citadel prepared me for the Air Force. And I met my better half, my wife, in the Air Force at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio. And just learning about leadership, learning about, I think the best leaders they know how to follow. You have to be a good follower in order to be a good leader. And I had an opportunity to work for, at the time it was a Colonel Wolfenbarger. She ended up going on to be the first 4-star female general in the Air Force.
Wow.
And I learned a lot just about leadership, taking care of your people. The philosophy that she has, if you take care of your people, people take care of you. So it was amazing. I had a chance to go to Germany, and shout out to Madame Riak, or Madame Pyatt now. She taught French, or I took her French class for 2 years at Berkeley. And I went to Germany. I remember going to a food truck at Frankfurt, Germany. And the guy didn't speak English. He spoke French. So I spoke French back to him, ordered my food. And again, shout out to Madame Pyatt for taking the time to teach, French or whatever, because I used those tools during that time and had a chance to meet the NFL commissioner at that time, Paul Tagliabue.
Yeah.
Shook his hand, met my childhood idol, Warwick Dunn.
Wow, really?
Keith Brooking, Todd Heap. So it was the Air Force. They treated me right, learned some skills that I still apply to this day. And I'm grateful.
Man, that's awesome. So now we're going to get into our segments. So the first segment is the teacher spotlight. And if you're watching or listening for the first time, this is where we basically give a spotlight to teachers that left a very lasting impression on us. So Liz.
All right, I'll start us off. Mine is going to be Miss Harrop, who was the librarian in our high school. And I remember thinking, man, what a great gig. Like, you're in here with books, and Miss Brevard, who was so fun, all day. And like, I would go in there more than I was supposed to, probably, because I just loved. We would talk about books. We would talk about movies, just what's going on, a little bit of gossip. She was just so sweet and nice. And even like when my dad passed away, she reached out, and like just little things like that really, it sticks with you. Just a kind person. And she and her husband have left Moncks Corner. I think that's a big loss for Moncks Corner. If you're listening to this, come on back home.
Yeah, they went back to Utah, didn't they?
I think somewhere out west, way far away.
Yeah, because her and my mom are real tight too.
Gotcha.
So, and I also spent a lot of time in the library, but it was because of Miss Brevard. My gosh, she was fine as frog. She actually showed up when my Uncle Gilbert passed, and everybody met up at his house. And me and Demetrius Hambury were in the backyard talking because him and my uncle were co-workers. And then he tapped my shoulder and he pointed. He's like, Danny. He's like, is that Miss Brevard in the kitchen? And I turned around, I'm like, I saw that short haircut and I grinned smile. I was like, it sure is, man. Let me go say hello. So yeah, that was a really good call. So, actually I'll go next for the teacher spotlight. My teacher spotlight is Mr. Don Brown. He was my U.S. history teacher at Berkeley. And what made that class so unique was, if I'm not mistaken, we were the first class that really implemented the satellite courses in the school district, because it was not only us, but there was students from Cross High School that took the class with us, and they had like 1 or 2 monitors in the classroom, and you could see the kids from Cross on the monitors. And he's a real cool dude. He looked exactly like Conan O'Brien. Really? Like tall, red hair. I mean,
he's like a principal now, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, continue.
Yeah,
sorry.
He's a diehard Gamecocks fan, and I remember he brought a couple of congressmen to the class to speak to us. I remember he brought Mark Sanford in to speak with us. This was right before the whole mistress scandal and whatnot,
Right.
but that's another story for another day. And just the classmates I had in there, it was Brianna and Clancy Atkins and Tia Littman and Melody Mitchum. Yeah, it was just like a crayon box of characters. And shout out Marie Babchak. Well, she's Marie Metters now. She was in that class too. And well, one of the coolest things though was the last class of the year. We actually got on the bus and drove to Cross High School, and we got to meet our classmates for the first time. And then that was super cool because I was real cool. The ones I gelled with the most were it was a guy by the name of Juan Howell and Shakira Mazik and Warren Johnson. And I don't know where they're at today, but shout out to them. And that was just one of the more cooler experiences, one of the more cooler classroom experiences at Berkeley High School. So that's my teacher spotlight. So Kenyon, who's your teacher spotlight?
So I think it will have to be Miss Willis. Miss Willis, she taught my mom in high school, taught me in honors physics, and I didn't do too well in that course. I think I got a C, but I was trying to get some brownie points. Miss Willis, if my memory serves me correctly, she was a big Tubby Smith fan. So when I took my official visit to the University of Kentucky, I brought back some, I think maybe like a basketball guy. So I went to a basketball game when it was University of Kentucky versus University of Florida. And I think I bought her some paraphernalia back, trying to get some brownie points. And it didn't work.
Shocker.
It didn't work.
I didn't know she was a Tubby Smith fan.
Tubby Smith.
I learned something today. And it's funny you mentioned her because it was either our first or second episode. That was my pick for the teacher spotlight. And I just remember vividly like how she would never make eye contact with the students. When she talked, she would always look at the walls. And whenever she laughed, she'd do her shoulders like this.
Well, she asked me one time, Elizabeth, what is wrong with you? Don't you want to be something? Well, yes, ma'am, I would. And she said, well, why don't you apply yourself? Why don't you try? I was like, I'm just not very good at science. It's not really something. She's like, well, you need to do. I mean, she just laid it. And she's like, what do you want out of your life? I said, I just want to be happy. And she goes, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, I tell you, she was a straight shooter.
She was.
And much like you, Kenyon, she also taught my mom when she was a little kid. So that was extra incentive for me because I remember the first test I took, and I mentioned it on the previous episode. I scored like a 73 or something. And when she would give the test results back, she would call each student up individually to her desk in order of highest to lowest grade. And I'm sitting there like, is my name ever going to get called? And then when she finally gave me my paper back, she gave me the 1,000-yard stare. Like, you better get on the ball. I'm like, yes, ma'am. And again, shout out to Craig Tenio because he ended up getting the highest grade in the class. And my mission was to get the highest grade in the class. So every time she would hand the test results back, his name was always the one called first. And I'm like, damn it, again? My name was always called second. I think I finished with like an 89 in that class. It took a lot of the pressure off of me. So yeah, that's a good call, man. Good call.
Could y'all imagine if teachers did that these days?
Wow.
Like what? Maybe we need some more of it. I don't know. But.
Maybe. So, man, that was a great segment. So now we're going to get into the Stags in the Wild segment. So for the Stags in the Wild, it's basically talking about former classmates that we may have run into in public in between recordings. So actually, I'll go first. And this one, it was really slim pickings because up until last Friday, it was just one person. I ran into Devin Rivers at Walmart.
Oh, hey, Devin.
Yeah, and that was real cool. We just said, hey, what's up? Shook hands, dapped up, and went on about our business. I'm like, man, this list is going to be real short this episode. But then fast forward to this past Friday, I was in Walgreens, and I ran into Gervin Prelo. I hadn't seen him. At least it's been double-digit years since the last time I seen him. So it was really good catching up with him. And then the cashier rung up my order, and as I'm walking out of Walgreens, in walks Bobby Fane.
Did you get an autograph?
You know what? I should have. And it was crazy because I just heard somebody yell, Fox Nuts. I'm like, all right, there's like a certain amount of people that still refer to me to that. And I was like, B Fane, what's up, man? It was awesome running into him. I used to see him at Wild Wing all the time, and he's still doing this thing with his with the cabinet business. So shout out to Bobby Fane. So Liz, do you have any submissions?
I have one, and my friend in the neighborhood got us these tickets. I didn't understand what it was all about. Have y'all ever heard of a guy named Beeple? So he sold an NFT for the largest amount of money an NFT's ever been sold for. And it kind of sounds like you could fart in a jar and tell people the Queen of England, and sell. It's that kind of thing. But it was this big to do, and it was over in this like secret warehouse in Mount Pleasant. And when you pulled up, there were like all these protesters and like jumping on cars. It was wild. Come to find out, those were all paid actors to like up this art experience. And you're supposed to go in and check out the art, and then they do this interactive. They had robots that had severed the head of Danny McBride and this Beeple character, and then they were walking around with these bloody human heads trying to give you cheesecake pieces or something. It was very avant-garde, different, interesting, strange. So I'm in the middle, the sea of what is going on, and I look across the way and I was like, thank God, there's Micah Griggs.
Of all people. That's insane.
So we obviously are like, hey, like clinging to each other in this sea of weird. But his wife had catered this event, and so we talked shop a little bit, and it was like such a relief to see. Are we gonna get out of here?
So Kenyon, who's do you have any stags in the wild on your list?
Yeah, so I guess maybe Danny, you and Curtis Smith.
Oh yeah,
last month when we were at King's Leaf. It was great catching up with you all, and then I want to say maybe I think last week or the week before, I ran into Mr. Martin and Lucy Beckham at my cousin's football game. Him and Miss Cheryl Morrison.
Man, I hadn't seen I don't think I've seen Mr. Martin since high school.
Yeah. Same here, yeah. That's my first time seeing him in like 20 plus years.
Yeah.
I see him in Park Circle every now and then. He used to always come up for the St. Patrick's Day parade stuff.
Okay. Man, that's
looks
awesome.
exactly the same.
Yeah, he does.
Aging well. Way to go.
I think we just started following each other on IG, and I was like, man, yeah, he looks exactly the same. Yeah, shout out to Mr. Martin. So now we're about to wrap this thing up. So we're going to get into the what we learned portion of the program. So Kenyon, what did you learn? What was your biggest takeaway from this episode?
Well, I think you and I share something in common, that Miss Willis taught your mom and my mom as well.
Yeah.
So that's something that I learned. And again, it's just an honor to share this moment with Liz and yourself, Danny. So thank you for having me on. I appreciate
this is
it.
good.
So Liz, what did you learn from this episode?
I learned that you turned down some schools, and I just can't imagine like turning down and then, I'm going to do the Citadel, but it turned out so great for you. And I don't know how I missed all that part about Kentucky and all that stuff. That's really cool. That was my takeaway.
Yeah, and my takeaway is much like yours. I wasn't aware that Miss Willis taught your mom too. I'm like, wow, that's even have more of a common bond, man. This is awesome. So, man, this has been one great episode, and I'm glad that you were able to stop by and just really sit down, and we were able to chop it up basically like old friends. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what we are, but still, just being in the flesh, catching up on lost time it's always a good thing. So, again, man, greatly appreciate you showing up and being a guest on Growing Up Lowcountry with Liz and Danny, man.
Thank you both.
And you have an open door policy. Anytime you want to come back, please feel free to let us know.
Know where to find us.
Appreciate it.
And so this has been a great episode. So again, thank y'all for listening. Make sure you like, download, and subscribe to Growing Up Lowcountry with Liz and Danny. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find me at Danny Foxworth 843. There you can find videos of every episode of this podcast, as well as my baseball podcast, At the Plate with Danny Foxworth, my candle podcast, A Wicked Good Time with Danny Foxworth, and Since We Last Spoke with Danny Foxworth. And for Kenyon, Liz, and myself, this has been another episode of Growing Up Lowcountry with Liz and Danny. Until next time, we'll see you later. Be good.